The night ritual no one taught you. They told you to sleep 8 hours. They told you to take your pills and walk more. But no one told you this, that just one simple drink before bed could quietly bring your manhood back to life. Not in a dramatic, overnight miracle, but in a slow, steady, healing kind of way, the kind that gives you stronger mornings, and a little more pride when you look in the mirror. You see, after 50, your body starts whispering things, less blood flow, less energy, less desire. You think it's just age or stress, but really, your circulation, especially down there, is slowing silently. And here's the part no one tells you. Your nighttime routine, especially what you drink, can deeply affect your morning vitality. Why? Because while you sleep, your body runs repairs. It builds testosterone, clears toxins, and if you give it the right fuel, it boosts nitric oxide, the molecule that opens your blood vessels, energizes your heart, and fuels those strong, confident mornings. But no one taught you this. Because most men over 60 are handed pills, not rituals. They're told this is normal. But what if it's not? What if there's a quiet, natural way to reclaim energy, performance, and pride without shame, without side effects? Just you and a warm glass of healing, a drink that tells your blood vessels it's time to wake up again. That's what this video is about, not gimmicks, not overnight fixes, but a small, forgotten secret that could bring the man inside you back to the surface one night at a time. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, you'll discover a bedtime drink that supports stronger circulation, better sleep, and yes, better mornings, all with ingredients you may already have at home. Let's begin. The silent fade after 50. It doesn't happen all at once. No loud alarm, no flashing sign, just a slow, steady fade so quiet you barely notice, until one morning you do. You wake up and something's missing. Not just the energy, but that fire, that quiet confidence that used to hum in your bones. You used to feel it when you stepped out of bed, or when your partner looked at you a certain way. Now, it's just not there. Maybe you blame stress or age. You tell yourself it's normal. But deep down, there's a part of you that wonders, did I lose something I'll never get back? You start avoiding mirrors. You stop reaching for your partner's hand at night. You laugh it off, but the truth stings. You miss feeling like a man. This isn't about vanity. It's not about ego. It's about identity. Because for decades, your body was your companion, strong, reliable, ready. And now, it feels like it's slipping away, and no one talks about it. Not your friends, not your doctor, not even your partner. But the silence doesn't make it go away, it makes it heavier. Here's what I want you to know. You're not broken. You're not weak, and this slow fade, it's not the end, it's a signal, a quiet whisper from your body saying, I need a little more care now, a little more intention. Because the truth is, you can wake that fire back up. Not with a magic pill, but with habits that honor your blood flow, your hormones, your sleep, your manhood. You just need the right rhythm, and it starts not in the morning, but the night before. Stay with me. Because in the next chapter, we'll look at the deeper wound behind this fade, the part no one ever dared to speak about. But every man over 50 feels in his gut. When masculinity turns to shame, there comes a moment quiet, invisible when the shift happens. Not in your body, but in your mind. You turn off the lights earlier than usual. You roll over and say you're tired. You avoid her touch not because you don't want her, but because you're afraid you won't rise when it matters. And in that silence, shame begins to whisper. You start asking yourself things you never did before. Am I still a man? Does she notice? Is she disappointed but too kind to say it? And maybe she is. Maybe she's wondering what changed, but doesn't want to hurt you, so she pulls back too, not out of anger but uncertainty, and suddenly your bed becomes a quiet battlefield of unspoken fears. This kind of shame, it doesn't show up in lab results. You can't measure it with a chart, but it cuts deep because it strikes at the core of who you are. You were once a provider, a protector, a lover. You held your partner with certainty. You led with your presence. Now you hesitate, afraid of the moment not going as planned, afraid of the look in her eyes that might say, it's okay. when it doesn't feel okay at all. But hear me when I say this. You are not less of a man because your body needs more care. You are not alone in this struggle. Millions of men silently carry this same shame, hiding it behind jokes, excuses, and avoidance. But what if instead of hiding you chose to heal? Because shame grows in silence. But healing begins the moment you speak truth to it, the moment you realize this isn't the end. It's a new beginning, not of failure but of reconnection, repair, and rebirth. And in the next chapter, I'll share a story, one that may sound like yours, of a man who walked into my office carrying the same shame, and walked out with something very different. I had a patient who hid it for years. He walked into my office like a man who had seen battle, because he had. Retired military, 67 years old, back straight, handshake firm, but behind the steel in his eyes, there was something else, a quiet kind of defeat. He told me he was here for routine checkups, nothing urgent. But I've been a doctor long enough to know when a man is guarding something. So I asked him how things were at home, and that's when he paused, just long enough for the truth to surface. He stared at the floor and whispered, "It's been months. I don't feel like a man anymore." His voice cracked not from weakness, but from holding it in for too long. And then he told me something I'll never forget. His wife had cried the night before, not because he couldn't perform, but because he wouldn't even try. She missed him, not the act, but the connection, the closeness, the man. He thought he was protecting her from disappointment, but what she needed wasn't perfection, it was presence. So we talked. About blood flow, about nitric oxide, about aging and shame, and then I told him something simple, something every man over 60 should hear. This isn't your fault, and it's not permanent. We started small, a nightly drink to open his vessels, improve his sleep, awaken his hormones naturally. He thought it sounded too simple, but within 2 weeks, he felt it, that spark, that quiet pulse of energy returning. 3 weeks later, he told me his wife held him longer than she had in years. It wasn't about sex. It was about belonging again to his body, to his role, to her arms. So if you've been hiding, brother, know this, you're not alone, and you don't have to keep pretending. In the next chapter, I'll walk you through the science, the real reason men lose performance after 50, and how to get it back. Starting tonight, the truth about blood flow and aging myths. You've been told it's just age, that slowing down is inevitable, that your drive, your energy, your performance, it's all supposed to fade like the color of an old photograph. But that's not the whole story, and it's definitely not the truth. Because what really controls your performance after 50 isn't just testosterone, it's blood flow, the quiet river inside you that nourishes your heart, your brain, and yes, your manhood. And here's what most men don't know. The key to strong, lasting performance isn't found in a bottle of pills. It starts with how your body repairs itself while you sleep. At night, your blood vessels either tighten or open. Your nitric oxide levels, the molecule that allows blood to move freely through your body, either rise or fall. And guess what influences that? What you eat, what you drink, what you do in that final hour before bed. Science shows that certain ingredients like beetroot, cinnamon, ginger can naturally support circulation, not in some flashy, instant way, but in a deep, restoring way. They help widen your arteries, relax your vessels, and prime your body to deliver more blood where you need it, most especially in the early morning hours, when natural testosterone production spikes. But here's the myth that hurts the most, that if you're slowing down, it means you're broken, that once it's gone for good. That's a lie, because your body wants to heal. It just needs the right signals, and blood flow is the signal of life. So no, it's not just age, and no, you're not past your prime. You simply haven't been taught how to care for the parts of you that no one talks about, but that changes today. Because in the next chapter, I'll show you a simple drink you can make before bed, one that speaks directly to your vessels, your hormones, and your confidence, and helps you reclaim the mornings you thought were behind you. The drink, warm beet, cinnamon tonic. Imagine a quiet evening. The world is slowing down. You're in your kitchen, lights dimmed, and in your hands, a warm glass of deep red tonic, rich, earthy, alive. This isn't some trendy health fad. This is ritual, a natural signal to your body that says, prepare to restore, prepare to rise again. The drink is simple, just 3 ingredients: fresh beet juice, a stick or pinch of cinnamon, and a touch of ginger. Beets are nature's powerhouse for circulation. They're packed with nitrates, which your body turns into nitric oxide, the same compound responsible for expanding your blood vessels, increasing oxygen flow, and energizing your heart, brain, and manhood. Cinnamon warms the blood. It stabilizes blood sugar. It supports circulation and calms the nervous system. And ginger, it relaxes smooth muscles and aids digestion, helping you sleep deeper and heal better. Together, these 3 create a powerful effect. They open up the highways inside your body. They let more blood reach the places that matter, and they prime your hormonal system to fire more fully when you wake. Drink it warm, about 45 minutes before bed. Let it settle into your belly as your body prepares for rest. Let it speak to the quiet systems within you, the ones that once worked without effort and can again. With just a little care, men often ask me, is it really that simple? And my answer is always, yes, if you stay consistent, because small things done daily can heal what shame and silence broke. This drink isn't a quick fix. It's a return to rhythm, to ritual, to pride. You don't need a prescription to feel alive again. Sometimes you just need the right ingredients at the right time. In the next chapter, we'll talk about what happens when this becomes a habit, how your mornings begin to change, how your partner notices, how you notice, not just in the bedroom, but in how you carry yourself again. Your return to power begins tonight. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine waking up tomorrow morning feeling different, not just rested but restored. Not just awake, but alive. You stretch, and something feels stronger. There's a pulse in your body you haven't felt in years, steady, bold, unmistakably you. You look in the mirror and recognize the man staring back. The man you thought was fading is returning, and maybe the most surprising part. It didn't come from a prescription bottle. It came from a decision. One small choice you made the night before to honor your body with something natural, to give it the tools to heal, to rise, to remember. That warm beet, cinnamon tonic you sipped wasn't magic, it was medicine, the kind nature intended. It worked through the night, expanding blood flow, repairing vessels, supporting your hormones, gently, silently. And now, you feel it, not just in your body, but in your spirit. Your partner notices too. She touches your hand and lingers a second longer. There's a light in her eyes again, not because you proved something, but because you showed up. This is what real healing feels like. Not flashy, not instant, but powerful. Because it's earned, you've been led to believe that aging means decline, that softness, fatigue, and silence are your new normal. But what if that was never true? What if tonight is your turning point? What if this small nightly ritual becomes the spark that rewires everything: your energy, your confidence, your connection? You don't need to chase youth. You need to activate your wisdom and care for the vessel that's carried you this far. So here's your quiet challenge tonight. Pour the drink, sip it slowly, and as you lay your head down, remember, your return to power doesn't start in the morning. It starts the moment you choose to believe it's possible again. And in the final chapter, I'll give you the last insight, one powerful truth to carry with you long after this video ends. One sip, one night, one new you. It doesn't take a prescription to feel like a man again. It takes a decision, a quiet one, made in the stillness of your own home, with one sip, one night, one act of self-respect. Because this was never just about erections. It's not just about performance. It's about presence, about standing tall in your own skin again. About reclaiming the part of you that the world stopped honoring but you never truly lost. You see, every man reaches a crossroads. One path is passive, accepting decline, accepting distance, accepting silence in your bedroom and in your heart. The other, it's active. It says, I choose to return to myself, and it begins. With a small act, a nightly ritual, a drink made with care, a moment just for you, because this tonic, it's not a magic fix, it's a message to your body that says, I haven't given up on you. And your body, it listens. Over time it responds with better circulation, deeper rest, stronger mornings, and slowly, quietly, the man you thought was fading comes back clearer than ever, not louder, not younger, just stronger, more grounded, more present, and your partner notices. She won't say it right away, but her hand will find yours again. Her eyes will soften, and in that silence, something sacred returns. So let's be clear, this isn't just a drink, it's a doorway, one sip, one night, one new you. You've earned this moment. You've carried others your whole life, now it's time to carry yourself back. So tonight, before you sleep, pour the glass and remember, the man you were is still in there, and he's waiting for you to come back and get him.